So that's the practice for us today. Can we awaken to seeing actually not in the other? Not really. Can we see in ourselves what needs to be seen so that we can reduce harm? So that we can live the life we all know is possible, we all sense is possible, and we have all lived, right, in moments. And we want to really be able to live it here, where we turn into hatred, where we turn into violence or aggression, where we turn into the even most passive versions, I have to say, of withdrawing silence. Not the silence that comes from wholeheartedness, but the silence that comes from, I really don't think you're deserving right now. That's different than the silence that we just go, I better just shut this trap. You know, I have lots of stories about my duck lips, just grabbing them and holding them close so as not to cause harm. I don't mean that silence. I think that one is fierce and also appropriate. I'm talking about the cool silence, the one that withdraws us, the one that takes us out of the present moment, that takes us out of our own mind, bodies, and hearts, that one. And you all know it because you know the coolness, don't you? You know the emptiness, and not in that all-inclusive emptiness way, but in the what way? The all by myself, separated in this tiny little ego box way of my own pained, fearful, wounded mind. And so we're going to practice recognizing that it is in fact only through that lens. It is only through that lens that we can come to see any other as the problem. The caveat on that is it doesn't mean the other was skillful. It doesn't mean the other in that moment was loving, kind, supportive, communicative, caring, because of their pain, their wound, their trauma, their distress. And we cannot perpetuate it. We cannot. I work on this every day. We cannot perpetuate it. How do we step out, step back, step in, step back to ourselves in our wholeness, and then choose what? Choose love, choose kindness, choose care, choose compassion, choose it. And we're going to work today with someone for whom you have struggled. We're not going to pick to begin. I'm going to leave it up to you ultimately, but we're not going to begin with the most difficult other. This is waters, tsunami level waves. We don't begin there. We begin in the shallow waters of someone who's maybe causing a little irritation. Someone with whom, though you are attempting a communication, you're attempting to communicate your care, your goodness, is not quite receiving. They've got a little static in the transmitter. We can pick this person today as a person to begin. I just want to make sure we all recognize that. Don't throw yourself into the deep end. This is often the people with whom we really have the practice edge, where we really come up against our own ego. It is that we muscle build to that. We muscle build the heart, even like a muscle, to that. So I want us to be caring of ourselves as we begin. And so we're going to get prepared to sit. As a part of the sitting, I will be reading the METTA Sutta, just to settle us in and down. Remember, try to hear the words beyond the head. I don't want you to figure out what it means. I'd like you to just feel its heart weight. Let it move through the ears and then into the whole of the body. Don't let it get stuck up there in the head. It won't be helpful. And so get yourself set up. And thank you. We're recording just to reassure my management team. Thank you so much. And we're going to begin simply by feeling into the body. We have to begin like this. A lot of people have gone, gosh, with only 30 or 40 minutes, do we have to start there in the feet? Yes. Do we have to check into the knees, the legs, the hips? Yes. Because this is where the present moment abides. Right here in the seat you've taken, in the posture you've established, however it is, in the uprightness of your spine, in the warmth of your hands, in the balance of that 8-pound ball of the head. Yes, we have to awaken to this. And as we breathe, we begin to soften and settle and open the whole front of the body, beginning right there at the top of the head. Feeling the face, feeling its serenity, releasing, letting no habit take those muscles. Let them first be flaccid, and then be joy-filled. You can crinkle up the corner of the eye, the edges of the mouth, in that gentle, serene smile that says, I am lucky, I'm fortunate, I'm blessed to have this day. And this day is blessed to have me. Continue to breathe, feeling down into the throat, chest, the belly, all the way down into the abdomen. And for a moment, just let the whole body breathe, sewing itself together with each breath. We have to be whole to turn towards those tsunami waves of greed, hatred, and delusion. The good news, they are not bigger than our boundless awakened heart mind. Good news. May we practice for all beings everywhere, without exception, omitting none. Awakening us, freeing us, being a boat, a bridge, a guide, a raft, a doctor, medicine, a nurse, a mother, a father, one who loves, one who cares, protects, one who contributes. You're just going to continue to breathe into the body as a whole, feeling the sensations of the breath within that sky, within that framework, while I read the Metta Sutta. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. In gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only precious child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into suffering. Breathing that in, letting it translate, metabolize, integrate into the heart and into the whole body, sitting here. With each out breath, release the contraction of the believed thoughts that have held your ill will, your resentments, your disappointments, your expectations too close to your own good heart. Let them go with each out breath. It is better to be vulnerable than to be deadened by the armor of greed, hatred, and delusion. This is a part of the exquisite risk, to expose our tender hearts. Remembering that in our goodness, in our care, in our kindness, they cannot be harmed. The greatest harm to ourselves comes from the inside out. And so we begin by offering ourselves kindness, care, appreciation, gratitude, patience, love. We begin with ourselves for this reason. From the harm we cause ourselves, we cause other harm. And so we care, protect, provide refuge for ourselves with these simple phrases. May I be safe. May I be wholesome. May I be free from harm, internal and external harm. May I live with ease. May I be peaceful. May I be filled with loving kindness. And may I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. And as you're breathing, find those phrases that resonate for you, breathing them in, offering them like that good medicine to our own aching, tender, pained hearts. Find a few phrases. You don't need to repeat them all. Find the ones that resonate, some truth, some reality, some good wish for yourself. You might simply take one phrase and breathe it in 4 or 5 times, really soaking in its goodness. Soften the body so we can let it translate all the way from the heart space up beyond the head and downwards into the depths of the feet and beyond. Be safe, happy, and have ease. I like to feel into the body as I'm reciting these phrases silently for and to myself, and see where in the body it hasn't yet quite translated, where it's not quite believed, where there's some hook, some contractedness, some grip. And I might offer those phrases directly to that shoulder, directly to that knee, maybe right into that hip, right to that churning belly, right to that contracted heart. See where the medicine is needed in your own mind body experience and offer it there lovingly, kindly. Embodied metta. Watching for the tendencies towards shutting down or distraction. And when we recognize this, once again, just inviting the phrases once again, beginning again. Be safe. May I have ease. May I be free from distress, free from inner and outer affliction, free from grasping, from clinging, from rejecting or pushing away. Offering these phrases like a loving mother to her precious child, her only child. We might offer ourselves a physical gesture that placing the hands on our own hearts, one or both, patting a part of the body, particularly in this polyvagal bundle, offering a soothing, an invitation to opening. As we repeat these phrases. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I have ease. May I be free from harm. May I offer myself this love, protection, safety, as if I were my own precious child, because it's true. May we remember that there is no one more deserving of your love and attention, of your care and protection than yourself. See if we can immerse ourselves in that love and attention. Breathing it in, breathing it out, creating that loving space, both inner and outer, above and below, left and right, inviting that field of loving presence of the open heart and placing oneself, one's whole self completely with it. And within that most loving, open, boundless space, feeling the sense of that edgeless, borderless, moving throughout all time and all space. We can invite in another without harm, without distress. We can invite them right here into this field of loving kindness. And just call whoever comes for the first round, whoever arrives, invite them in. If we need more protection or safety, if we need reinforcements, we may call a benefactor, a loved one, a friend, and let be. Invite them here. If it is one who is irritating or annoying or hasn't offered you what you most would want or like or need, treat them all equally. We are safe in this boundless heart of Metta. We are protected. There is a refuge here available, not only to us, but to others. And then we invite these phrases, these simple, repetitive phrases to them. May you be safe right here. You are safe here with me. May you be wholesome. And as I am wholesome, I will contribute. May you be free from harm. May you be filled with loving kindness. And let's begin by offering it to this special one, to this other. Remembering that they too are deserving of love and attention. Continuing to repeat the phrases silently, holding this other in our loving presence, in our awakened heart, making space and room for them with each phrase. Be safe. May you have ease, be happy, be healthy. May you be free from harm. And now, whomever you've picked, that was because that was the level at which you could work. We're going to pick someone with whom you've had a greater difficulty. And maybe it's the same person with a different issue or a different moment or a different challenge. And calling that to mind, it's important to see through the eyes of Metta, through the eyes of Metta, that the harm begins with our own contraction, with our own wanting, with our own resentment, with our own anger, our own. And if you feel like that's so big that you cannot make contact with the innocence, with the goodness, with the good heart, the Buddha nature of the other, offer yourself those phrases, continuing then to offer them to yourself while holding yourself right there in that distress, in that contractedness. Do not abandon yourself for the other. Stay with yourself. May I be happy and safe. May I be protected And may I know there is refuge here, right here, in my own good heart. May I offer it to myself. See which direction is right for you. In our wholesomeness, in our goodness, in our own true nature over time, there will be space and room, but we cannot rush it. So when it feels too tight, too contracted, too overwhelming, too scary, too risky, come back to the self. Otherwise, you can continue calling on this challenging one, this difficult one. Difficult only because of the way you are seeing them. We have solidified around that behavior, beyond that, around that identity of them. We've solidified possibly us and them as only this. And this is where we can invite that corrective lens. We can picture that other as a child, as a vulnerable, defenseless child deserving of love, deserving of protection, deserving of safety. And we can offer it to them. Offering them these phrases, may you be safe. May you have ease. May you receive the protection, the safety, the love you need in order to be whole and wholesome. See what phrases come. Continue to picture this difficult or challenging one as a child. And if that even feels too threatening, picture them as an infant. An infant deserving of love and attention. Nourish them, protect them, offer refuge and care to them with these phrases. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you have ease. May you be free from distress. May I see that you are deserving of this love and attention. No matter how difficult and challenging, unskillful, that it is only in this way that any of us can be healed. and see what we need to open in our own heart mind. The greatest danger comes from within. The contraction, the closing, the shutdown of our own goodness, our own capacities for care, for love, for kindness. This is the greatest cost. Holding oneself close in that field of open-heartedness, allowing that other to be present there in the field in whatever way can be safe for you. And then expanding the field to include you both. However that can best be done, how to visualize that, or hold that for yourself, find your way. You are not obligated to offer more than you have. This moment, hold yourself in safety and protection. Excuse me. As well as hold the other within that space. See where they can be. Offering you both these phrases. Offering them with equanimity, with whole and open. May we both be safe. May we both be free from harm. May we both have ease and well-being. May we both be healthy and happy. May we both be peaceful. May we both be filled with loving kindness. And be well. Letting the heart continue to expand to include yourself, this annoying, irritating, difficult other. And then all beings who know this feeling. Who know the heart that is filled with loving kindness and the heart that is contracted in fear. May we offer these phrases to all of those who know this. May we all be happy. May we all have safety. May we all be free from harm. May we all live with ease. May we all be filled with loving kindness. And may we all be well. And for the last moments, either resting in that boundless field of metta, inviting in any others who come, or bringing it all back to yourself, inviting that boundlessness back into your own. May I be free from distress. May I have ease. May I remember that I am deserving of this love and attention. We did it. We did it. I've got someone here. I'm so sorry. They have, I apologize for those who were waiting in the waiting room. We were unfortunately in the very middle of this practice. There will be a recording. So if you came in late and missed this, it will be put on the website by Leslie. Thank you always, Leslie. Without Leslie, these would not get out. That's 100% out of her goodness and her contribution. Thank you so much. So I'm just checking in on chat to see what we might need. I know several of you have to go because it's almost 8 o'clock. We'll only be on for another moment, just checking in. Any feedback, any questions about the practice, any experiences with the practice that you might want to share? You're welcome. Any observations? Hopefully, you could see, feel, know the contractedness in you. This is very important, and as important then to offer metta right there to you. We mistake the practice to be about forgiving the other, opening to the other. And actually, what I know about this is that it really doesn't begin there at all. It really begins with acknowledging our own fears, our own aggressions, our own lack of safety, and abiding and holding and treasuring and making safe ourselves. And until that, then opening to the other becomes virtually impossible, an impossibility. As long as we are feeling endangered, as long as we are not feeling safe, as we are protected by our own good hearts, we cannot be particularly skillful. I don't think this means, folks, that we go into dark alleys at night. I don't think so. I think it really means that we become more skillful in that openness, and that we can be loving or kind or caring in whatever way then is most useful, in whatever way then is most skillful, in whatever way then can be offered without enabling, without causing harm. We can mistake, I think, oh, I've got to be totally open, and now I've got to let the person who has been unskillful both towards themselves and then often another into our refuge. I think we let them in offering them kindness and care, and we and they stay safe. I have a brother who is an addict, who is a gambler, who has been in prison for almost killing someone. And the truth is, I know where to place him most lovingly, most kindly in my field of metta. And he is there. And he is there. And there's room and space for him also. But I make sure that we're all safe. Shivam says here, I was surprised at my own distractedness. Yes, thank you, Shivam. It's one of the things I think we start to make contact with, like, I just left the field. I don't know who else in it, but I'm gone. I'm counting chickens over in the other yard there. I think this is one of the realities. I think it's just to use that awareness, to know our own vulnerability, to know our own need for safety, and to offer it to ourselves. Yeah, that numbness and avoidance, I notice it big time myself. And I just know that means I'm vulnerable, and I keep offering that field and those phrases to myself. And yes, the practice is actually for us. It is for us. It actually is that then it opens to include others. It isn't this me, sending over anywhere. It's out of our own safety, out of our own well-being, out of our own wholeness, out of our own understanding of that we can offer what we offer. We cannot offer it like I will throw it over somehow. It doesn't work that way. Start with yourself, stay with yourself, and we have a hard time doing that. We even think I should be able to. We place demand, don't we? I should now climb over the fence of my own fear, my own lack of safety, my own to get to the other. This is not the way. Those dissolve out of our infinite kindness, our infinite care, our infinite refuge as offered to ourselves. This is how we get to the other. We dissolve those barriers over and boundary over time by offering those phrases and that reality, not just phrases, right? The reality to ourselves. And I love the metta practice for the felt sense of refuge that it offers me. I'm braver, I'm bigger, I'm kinder, because I am fortified by that goodness. And it's just true. And so we go where we can, and we don't go where we're not yet safe, where we're not yet sufficiently resourced, where we're not yet resilient enough, where we don't go there. And so I can love my brother and not have him over for dinner, because that's not safest for either of us. But I can love him, and I can offer him that love in very real and active ways. Yes, boredom is one of the faces of distractedness. It actually means, we know this, don't we, Shivam? Boredom actually means not being close enough. And that might mean not feeling safe enough to get closer just yet. Boredom is a distance. The reason we're bored is we cannot get sufficiently engaged and close to that reality. We can honor that as well. Okay, not yet, not today. Can I recognize my boredom as a protection rather than as a problem? Yes, metta does support all experience and all beings, even when we think we're just offering it to us. This is the beauty of the metta practice. This is why the Dalai Lama himself says, if you can't offer loving kindness to the other, offer it to you. If you can't offer it to you, offer it to the other, because ultimately it's all the same love. It's all the same kindness. We take whatever portal, whatever opportunity we can possibly get a hold of in any moment. So not yet the other me, not yet me. Can I offer it to the other or to myself in a more vulnerable age or stage, and then to the other in a more vulnerable age and stage? Can I remember that every moment of aggression, every moment of ill will, every moment of unskillfulness came out of a wound, came out of pain, came out of fear? And can I begin to dissolve that with my own kindness, both my own and in its time others? And so be careful. We often get crafty in believing I've gotta offer, and I think that's dangerous business. I don't think that's correct. I think it's unskillful, ultimately unwise, and actually just a concept. I should be able to just love everyone always. I don't think that's very real. I think what's real is, oh, I am vulnerable like this. And oh, the other is vulnerable like this too. Vulnerable enough that they needed the armor of aggression. They needed the armor of protection, of shutting down, of turning the other way. This is all protective cloak. This is none of our real selves. Not yours, not mine, and not the others. And can we know this? Yeah, kindness trumps all. And we know this deeply. We know it. It's in the tissue, right? We know every moment of my aggression has always been a protection. Every single one of them. Some protection, some felt sense that I could not be okay if I didn't push this or this other or myself away. And in any moment, it might be the best we can do, but now we have an instrument. We don't have to stay in the shutdown. We don't have to stay in the disconnect. We can get ourselves to safety, and then we can open once again with the open heart, field of metta ourselves. Even in these moments, we don't have to stay locked up. We don't have to stay distracted or numb or bored or disconnected at all. Because the minute we recognize it, which obviously Shivam and others did, we open again and offer the phrases. Once again, offer the phrases. May I be safe. May I be well. May I be happy. May I have ease. That's why we offer them. That's the good medicine for all open hearts. Thank you so much for your chat. When you put it that way, I'm immediately more open to being kind to someone who is seriously annoying me or hurting me. Yes, we are more capable because we don't have to rush in, do we, Leanne? We don't have to go, now I've got to expose my most vulnerable self. We first resource ourselves. That's what we did today, didn't we? We resourced ourselves with our own loving kindness, that's our own refuge. And then we open to the extent that that is possible and wise and skillful. It doesn't mean there's not a fully open heart there. It means that it comes with also wisdom and skillfulness, right? That's the real field of metta, has both of those elements in it. There's an old phrase from the Tibetan teachings called the rageful Buddha. And it was frequently misunderstood as giving legitimacy to aggression. And really, when the teachings were more fully explained, what we all came to understand was the rageful Buddha was rageful in your benefit, was only rageful to protect you, only pulled you back with force to save you, to make sure that you were safe, to make sure that you weren't harmed, even though it was perceived often as unkind or aggressive by the other. Well, so as an example, and then I need to get ready to go in a moment. As an example, I have had to place people in hospitals throughout my career. I have frequently and often had to do that without anyone's clapping, no applause, no happiness, no, this seems like a good idea. I've had to 5150 people to protect them from harm, with everyone screaming at the moment that I was doing it. How could you? How could you? You're so horrible. You're so terrible. Until they were well. Until they were well. Until they were truly safe. Until they were finally able to see more clearly. And so I use that often as an example, particularly with adolescents. Leanne would say, Kelly would say, we sometimes have to take actions that no one else likes. Can we do so? Filled with loving kindness. Filled with loving kindness without moving into aggression ourselves. That doesn't mean we can't bring force. Like, no, you're not going. No, you can't have the BB gun. No, you can't. Right, whatever the whatevers. And how do we communicate? How do we hold the other in loving kindness, even when we're setting limits and boundaries for both our safety and theirs? And when we're parents, it's primarily for theirs, right? No claps, no applause, nobody hurrahing for us at all. It's a very lonely job, but somebody's got to do it. That's what they actually meant in that Manjushri, cutting through the delusion that this is a good idea and that we are safe. And for all of you who are parenting currently adolescents, that's the job. It's a tough one, but we all actually have the job, even if we're not parenting adolescents, because who are we still parenting? Ourselves. The one who just wants what they want, the one who just likes what they like, the one who wants to do whatever they want, and they want it to come in the way they want, and I want it the right flavor and the right I want. And we can all be somewhat hungry ghosts, can't we? Like adolescents can be also. And we need that protection as well. We need that kindness in that moment as well. And sometimes it's the other going, no, no, not like this. You can't demand it. You can't think you can't force. And that's all correct. I want to go back up here for a second. The phrases may need to be spoken and felt for days. I'm going to go with years before we are ready to truly reach out to the person. Yeah, it takes as long as it takes. And I don't think the reaching out, I think we frequently buy into the I've got to do something. And I think that's dangerous. I think we have to be something. And from that being, all doing will come. And it will come in its time. So yes, be wary of the, I'm just going to go offer, this is not the path and not the way. In fact, there will be no I in it, is what I will say. The loving kindness will speak itself in its time. And it won't be about you at all, or what you are offering at all. It just becomes that act of kindness. And you know those because they happen just naturally, spontaneously, and freely. There's no me and you in it at all. And that is the true path of the Bodhisattva. It doesn't become. So be watchful of the I need to, I'm going to, I, step back, stay with yourself. Offer that metta first to yourself, offer the refuge and protection there, and then see what comes. See what comes. Trust that. Out of that field and heart of metta, trust what comes. I do. I do. And I want you to trust it too. And I agree with Leslie. I think we've got to rest in that field ourselves for a time. For a time. Before we make these offerings. Often I have made the mistake of making the offering because I was bargaining, because I wanted something in return. And I thought, if I could only offer this, then I'll get it. Yeah, no, not from that place. It doesn't work out very well. It doesn't work out if we're going, I need to clear my own slate, so I've got to do this so that I can be good, or I can, right? No, it doesn't come out of this at all. It comes out of that boundless heart of metta that is infinitely safe and protected and cannot be harmed. Because now the outcome beyond the goodness, beyond the loving kindness is not the point. It's not the point. Then what the other does or they don't do isn't even the point anymore. It's just that this is available. And so we offer the medicines that are available because that's what they're designed. They just do it. They expand themselves. They offer themselves, we could say. So be watchful. Yes, good for you. Be well, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for these embodied metta practices. I want us to practice this today in this way. Can you first really just immerse yourself back into that field of metta, really abiding, residing, dwelling and resting there. This is the first work. And out of that safety, out of that goodness, see what comes. See what comes. You will be amazed. See what comes. Let it happen from there. And I'll look forward to talking with you on Saturday about what you noticed about that. Having immersed yourself in the protective refuge and sanctuary of metta, see what comes. What I promise is you won't be bored. I promise you won't be distracted. I promise you won't take a risk larger than that which is right for the moment you're in. It's not possible from there. It won't be. See what comes and live that. Let's live it this week. Live that. I have to go get my $5 bills. I gave my last one because I'm always short shrift on money and go. I gave my last one to someone at the I-5 Encinitas Boulevard exit corner who was a disabled vet. And I had just said, as I was getting off the freeway, I was talking with my father, who's of course been dead for a couple years now. And I was saying, yeah, I know I need to do something, Dad. I just don't know what. You know, I'm thinking about this too much. I want to be honoring. I've got to forgive myself. I put my hand on my own heart as I was turning off. I just know that if I stay open, and there he was. And there he was, just like that. Just like that. And so let what comes from that heart of metta, let it come. And you will see it. And I believe from that heart, you will respond. I know you will, because there's no other option but response. All right, everyone, be well. Blessings and love to you. May you be filled with loving kindness. And may you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. Deep bows to you, deep bows to you and your goodness. Love to you. Be well, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Rest in that field of metta. I can't wait to see its beautiful result. I'll look forward to seeing you. I think I'll probably be leading on Thursday morning. Greg's off for an anniversary. Yippee, Greg. Congratulations, Greg and Maureen. And I'll look forward. Dennis, I'll get to talk to you tomorrow. I'll look forward to that. Be well, everyone. See you.